everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. Today, I have with me a very special guest, one of my sailing heroes as of late, Erik Aanderaa. Erik, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So for those of you guys who don't know Erik he's from Norway. Yeah, from Hokksund, Norway. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And he's created what many people are calling on YouTube probably the golden standard of YouTube shows. There's regular YouTube sailing shows, or YouTube sailing shows rather, and then there's Erik Aanderaa, the golden standard, because he just takes it to the next level. I mean, this guy, you're going to meet him in a second. I would call him a true Viking. Just one time on a whim, a friend dared him to cross the North Sea in the middle of the winter. And, you know, most people would think that's absolutely crazy because it is. And he's just like, sure, I'll do it. He crossed it and he made an amazing video out of it. You've also recently just completed a whole kind of mini circumnavigation, well, not circumnavigation, but a whole loop-de-loop around from Hokksund all the way to Greenland, hopping through Shetland, and then back down to Iceland, and then back home, having an incredible adventure. But what really takes Erik's content and everything out of the water is he doesn't just go sailing. He's also making amazing art while doing it. He's making cinematography that, you know, is up to par with documentary cinematographic quality content that's just mind-blowing. It's beautiful. So it's like a one-man sailing show / video production, editing, cinematographer, photographer, you know, and he's daring and adventurous and really takes it to the next level. I just watched one video where you were like out there filming some footage in the drone off the coast of the Shetland Islands, and then a seagull came and just killed your drone and attacked it. And, you know, most people would be like, well, that's just happened. But you were just like, okay, I'm actually going to go back to Shetland now in the middle of gale force winds blowing against me, just to buy a new drone. I'll come back tomorrow and finish my job. So thank you for being here. I hope that's a good intro, Erik. And wow.
Yeah.
So my first question for those watching, and maybe for some of your fans, is like, what's drawing you to do what you do? Where did you start? And you know, what's the passion behind all this?
I think it's first and foremost the passion for adventure, to experience new things. I think I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie as well. So those two combined, I think it's a great drive for me to do it.
Is there any time where you're actually like scared when you go out there? Because you make this look really, really easy and really simple.
I'm not scared, I think, but I'm very focused on. I've done this for many years, you know. So I've been out in a lot of different weather. So it's so far it's nothing new for me. But I would use the word focused than scared, I guess. Of course, if things go wrong, doesn't go according to plan, you could get scared, but most of the time I would say focused.
Yeah, and they say, you know, when you're really focused out or doing whatever, it's when the flow state comes to you and everything just starts to kind of line up. Do you find that when you're out there and you put that focus in there, you're just in a very different space than you would normally be on the land or doing some other job? Yeah,
I'm just truly happy when I'm out there. I'm happy in another way that I never will be on land. I think something goes on in my mind when I'm offshore on a little boat. Definitely.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I've been a sailor most of my life, and when I go out to sea, you just stop thinking about past and future, and it's just like this moment only, right? And
yeah,
it's a real joy that arises from. I mean, I'm really curious about how this has affected you as a human being, you know, because this is not something that ordinary people would do. You know, most people, when they have challenges, they don't really rise up to the challenge for reasons that we understand. You know, it's just not coded in us. But something's different about people who go out to sea and do extreme sports, and I'm sure it's spilled over into your life. And I'm curious how you feel it's changed you or affect you in any other parts of your life.
Well, it started out. It always starts out with that. I put a goal, you know. I want to see something like Shetland, and I just I learned to put everything in my power to make it some way. And in that comes a lot of preparing of the boat and also my mind before I go. So I think with the years and all this experience I've gained, I think it's maybe made me a little bit stronger mindset, because I see if you just put enough work into it, eventually you will succeed in some way. So I would say that's maybe a little bit stronger kind of person in the mindset.
I think you're underplaying it just a little bit. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the air of like somebody who just goes out there and gets it done. And I think, personally watching your stuff, I'm really drawn to the adventure because it inspires me, but it's just such an inspiration to be like, okay, if this guy can do it and go out there in the North Sea and cross the freaking ocean to Iceland in freezing conditions, like I can maybe do something like that too. So it's been really motivating watching your stuff. So thank you. I think your work is having an impact and beyond just the sailing community. Everybody always dreams of going out to sea, but few people imagine going out there by themselves, and really faring the elements. So for me, it's a reminder of like what man is capable of and, what is possible when you do focus the way you do. So tell me, what have been some of the most challenging aspects of I know you say you're prepared and you really focus, but what have been some of the most challenging parts of everything that you've been through so far?
When I'm out to make videos offshore, the hard part is actually to get it all on video. It's a big job, and the sailing part is actually maybe the easy part, just to sail the boat and to drive it. But to get everything on film in all kinds of shitty weather, that's really challenging. You have to climb around on deck and around the mast, and it's not normal, to do when you're out sailing in bad weather. You stay in the cockpit and you clip on and you just sit there. But if you want to make a great video, you have to do some sacrifices and get out of the normal, safety box, if you know what I mean.
Can you elaborate on that? Like what makes the difference between your videos and somebody who would just go out there and they're starting as an amateur? Like what's that little secret to making the kind of content you do?
I think I'm learned from watching other videos, because I've watched a lot of stormy videos and in challenging environment. And most of the time, others just sit in the cockpit, and I say, it's no way if I'm going to film this, but look here, guys, this is how it is. And I think maybe I take it a little bit further. If it's smart, I don't know. If it's safe, no, it's not safe all the time, but it's my kind of sacrifice to get the best pictures possible on a boat. So I think maybe that's kind of line to cross.
So what are the plans right now? Are you staying ashore in Norway? I mean, I guess the question I have on my mind is like, when are you going to do this full time? Because you created quite a YouTube channel, quite a following. Take this full time, or you have any kind of inclinations like that?
Well, yeah, I'm working on being able to do this full time now, because I just quit my job last year. I had this 8 to 4 everyday job, and it just didn't get enough time to sail as much as I wanted. So I'm working offshore for 2 weeks on, and I can take as long free as I want, because I'm on this preliminary contract. So I'm not. I work when I have to work. So now I've been updating my boat with new navigation systems and new sails. And so actually today I'm going to do the last bits of installing, and then good to go. So I'm just waiting for the world to open up a little bit more, so I can get offshore. Now I can only stay around the Norwegian coast. So it's a little bad, but that's the situation today.
I see. So you're kind of waiting on the whole world situation, and you're going to wait until things calm down before you kind of head out.
Yeah, I've been writing emails to the government in Scotland. I want to go to the Hebrides. That's actually what my main plan is now. So, but it's the same as every day. It's closed, and they're just waiting. So maybe June, July. I think they are talking about maybe opening for tourists.
I see. And do you have any plans or ideas to go sailing beyond the whole Norwegian Sea area, the whole North Sea area, like out to the world, crossing the Atlantic maybe, or beyond?
I'm really intrigued by the thought of sailing around the world non-stop, like the Golden Globe race, but only doing it alone, not in the race, but doing such a trip. That's actually the top of my goal. So okay. We'll see.
I'd love to see that. I think that would be quite something to see with your skills and your cinematography and the drone flybys and everything. I think that would be one of a kind kind of thing. So maybe if some of your fans are watching this, they can vote down below and post their comments to see if we can send you off around the world. That's actually been a project of mine I'm working on right now. I'm not sure if you had a chance to see it, but I got inspired. I want to put together funds to buy as big of a boat as I can with the community's help, and just invite amazing people on board and kind of do what you're doing, really create a podcast out on the ocean and just invite amazing people, musicians, artists, poets, and sailors, obviously, to go sailing around the world and just create content together in the adventure of sailing. Because like what you said, it really puts you in this amazing state of like happiness and just joy, right? So for me, when I'm out on the water, it's not just about sailing, it's about something else, which is hard to describe, something that I don't really feel when I'm on land. And I really want to share that with other people. And so you've motivated me to just like take that next leap and do it. I think a while ago I was watching your videos and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go all in on this vision. It sounds crazy, but I'm going to do it. So yeah.
One lesson I've learned, if it's crazy, it's probably good for you.
Yeah. And one thing I'm also realizing from doing crazy things, and I'm wondering if you've noticed this also in your life, is like if what your life was like before the sailing adventures that you started now, and after, you realize that or is this the case? There's so many other things that happen that you never expected that would happen because you did this thing, right? Like you've got all of a sudden sponsors coming to you, giving you sales, giving you, bowsprit parts and like all these things. And you're meeting people that were like never there in your life before you started the adventure.
Yeah, you get a lot of, obviously you get a lot of opportunities if you just dare to take the leap off the cliff and see if your wings flies or not.
I'm just really curious if there's been anything else that has like come up for you since the sailing. Any great challenges or any great revelations that have impacted your life in some way that you didn't expect?
Well, I think all the things happening with the sponsorships and all the equipment and on all the financial support from patrons and YouTube incomes and everything has made my personal sailing life much better. It's just gets stronger and much more fun. And it makes me want to do more and stay longer and make better films. Just spin on the ball and all the opportunities that has occurred because I've started this. That's a big thing, I think.
Awesome. And what type of advice do you think you'd have for people who want to do the same thing? Because I'm really want to do the same kind of thing, getting into it. But I don't have a boat at the moment. I'm still on land. I'm like in South America, Ecuador right now, and we're moving forward with the project. And I'm just leaping into it because it sounds crazy, like you said, and it's probably good for you. And that's contagious to people that I talk to about it. But some days I'm just like, oh my God, this is really crazy. It's so over the top. And sometimes I wake up, in the morning, like to prepare for this interview, I actually didn't get much sleep to get in the spirit of single handling. I took a cold shower just to join you in the Viking mode. And I'm like in the morning, I'm like, wow, this could be my life, And I know that what that feels like, because I've done some sailing where you're just uncomfortable and dealing with all the challenges of actually like living on board. But to bring that question home, what would your advice be for somebody going out there and wanting to do the same thing, kind of walking your footsteps?
I think what I would discover when I started out, I did this just for fun, and I sailed to. I just sat down, and I just suddenly decided that I'm going to Shetland, and I'm going to make a video about it, because I really like editing and making films, and I love sailing. So I combined the two things, and I just said, let's do this. All my friends and family, they when I got home and I edited the video, and I think it was good, but it was terrible to put it online. I was freaked out, and I thought, what are my friends going to say? Nobody thought I was going to do this. I'm not the typical guy. I'm kind of maybe a little bit shy, quiet guy, not exposing myself too much. But I thought, I just thought for myself that I know this, I got this, I'm good at this, so I have to do this. And I just put it online, and it went very well. But what I want to say is, don't listen to others what they say, and only stay positive and don't think that you shouldn't do this or think negative thoughts. Only focus on the positive side of it and what you can gain out of it. Because I think the worst thing is not to do it. You think that you should do it, but not doing it, it's a terrible feeling later in life when you look back and you tell yourself, I didn't do it. Shit, I should do it. So just do it. If you want to do something and you burn for it, just please do it. You will gain on it some way, for sure.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Really great to hear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for questions because we've kind of covered everything so quickly. But I really enjoyed talking to you and just meeting the man behind the passion and the vision. And it's such a reminder that anybody can go out there and do crazy things, and there's nothing too crazy, right? And
for sure.
To listen to that inner voice of the adventure, I'm curious what was going through your head when you were crossing the North Sea by yourself in the middle of winter? Was that like another just totally normal planned trip, or were you kind of like shitting your pants throughout the whole experience?
The worst time of the whole journey is actually 1 or 2 days before I'm going to leave. And I watched the weather reports and I see that it's 35 to 40 knots downwind, luckily. And it's going to be snow. And I think, what the hell am I doing? Why in the world are you doing this, Erik? But I think it's some kind of inner force that just pushes me and tells me that you have to do this. You just have to do this. And it's going to be okay. You're going to make it. You got this. You're a good sailor and all that. And but I'm nervous as hell. A couple of days before, I'm almost to the breaking point, thinking that, Erik, just be normal, stay home, stay safe. You go and have a drink with your friends, and then I think, hell no, I'm going out and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm just focusing on the positive sides of it. No, don't ever focus on the negative sides. But then you're going to be tricked, and you're just going to stay home.
Yeah,
you have to believe that you can do it.
Yeah, and most people are out there when they're making sailing shows. They're sailing, they're making these long, epic journeys, and it's beautiful to see because it's still amazing to see people out in the ocean in their bikinis or becalmed somewhere and talking about what's going on and everything. But your show is about I'm going out doing this crazy thing, and you can almost feel the cold air like coming off the screen. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. The commentary is very simple. Here's what's happening. Here's what I am. Wow, there's not much, but yet there is so much. There's so much substance, and there's so much soul in it. You can feel that Norwegian Viking energy of you going out to sea. So I love that. And I'm curious, like what the inspiration behind that was. Was that your intention from the get-go to just keep it super simple, or is that like a product of your personality, like you said, kind of being more introverted?
I actually don't have any video production wise. I don't have any plans when I start. I just bring the cameras on board and I just take it from there, minute by minute, on what's happening, and just set up a camera on the stern when I leave the port, and then I just take because you never know what's going to happen when you're starting the ride, and you just have to take it as it comes, and film all the things that you think can be interesting to watch for the viewer all the way across, and then I just get home and I have no idea what I've been shooting, and I just have to look at it when I get home, and then I start making the video, and then it's just pick the most interesting shots of every clip, and and you get the product.
Yeah, you've done a tremendous job. I mean, it's kind of like watching Werner Herzog. I don't know if you're familiar with this German movie director. Have a similar accent, and it draws you into the whole experience. And for me, like the sailing itself is one aspect when I go sailing, but just being with nature, is the other part, and that's what I love. And there's so much nature out there on the ocean. I mean, whether it's just little fish jumping out of the water, or you coming off the coast of some amazing island and some nature. I've done most of my sailing I've done in Vancouver, British Columbia throughout my life. I'm from Canada, and it's, you can pull up and there's just like a bear catching a salmon off the side of the river, of the bank, or just eagles landing. And you've been going out to the Shetland Islands, Iceland, the Faroe Islands, off the coast of Norway. These are Greenland as well. These are incredible places to go. I've never imagined going sailing there. Usually I'm like, okay, I'll go down to South Polynesia or like, the Caribbean, but you're going, just pretty remotely cold places where most sailors imagine like really huge waves, and it's like, okay, I won't go there. And you've captured some of the beauty of these lands. It's really wonderful to see. And I think I speak for a lot of your viewers as well, that we really appreciate the cinematic quality of capturing all that nature. And just please keep doing what you're doing. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's when you say words like that, that's inspiring for me too, to get the wheels rolling and just keep on going. It's really nice.
Yeah, I hope that you can bring a team with you soon. Maybe just like bring IMAX cameras and virtual reality cameras as well. Just take the whole thing to the next level. Yeah. This is actually my idea. I want to put virtual reality cameras on our boat for Sail the Stars, for the Sail the Stars project, and put virtual reality cameras like on the mast and the bottom and the top and the bow and the stern, so people can actually join in, walk through the boat with us, or sit in the cockpit and look around to see the whole boat. So feel free to steal that idea if you want. It's might be the next level. Thank you so much for the interview, brother. It's been really interesting chatting with you. Is there anything else that, parting thoughts or words you could share with your audience or anybody else? For anybody wanting to do the same thing, or anybody who's, got a burning vision to do something crazy in their life and they're just like waiting, what would be your last parting words? Any advice, anything burning in your heart to share?
I would say I can speak for my own experience, how I got where I got, and that's actually, it might sound a little bit arrogant, but that's not the meaning of it. But don't listen too much on everybody else's advices. Find your own way to go, and just stick to it. If you believe that you will, and believe that you will make it, because if you start listening to people and all the different advices, you'll just get stuck and you're getting nowhere. So just be focused on what you want to do, and visualize your goal, where you want to end up, and how you want to end up there, and just stick by that. And like the tunnel sight, don't get stuck up in all the things happening on the sides. Only in your own vision. That's my plan when I go.
So just stay relentlessly focused on the vision, no matter what.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Erik. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and it's great to be chatting actually on your boat. So I feel like I'm actually joining you there, and you've been a real inspiration. Please keep on doing what you're doing, and maybe we can chat again in a year when you've circumnavigated the world, or whatever the next thing is, or perhaps I can join you on your next sail. I might be in Europe in the summer. I hope to visit Sweden or Norway to see those countries, and maybe I'll pop by. But thank you so much for the interview.
Sure, very nice. Thank you.